It's Wednesday, May 1st, 2024, and I'm Dave Sobel. 3 things to know today. NIST launches GenAI program to set benchmarks for generative AI and enhance transparency. The White House updates critical infrastructure oversight with National Security Memorandum 22. And Microsoft, Google, and Amazon all leverage AI and cloud for substantial Q1 revenue growth. This is the business of tech. Today's episode is supported by CoreView. Your customers need your Microsoft 365 expertise, and CoreView has the only M365 management platform designed for MSPs. Manage hundreds of tenants, automate manual tasks, and monitor compliance, all while intelligently comparing to the baseline. With a no-code control approach, CoreView revolutionizes your Microsoft 365 administration. This powerful platform enables automatic reporting and remediation, ensuring optimal performance and security. The best part? You achieve this high level of service without the need for a large workforce, allowing you to focus on growing your business through efficiency. Want to know more? Visit coreview.com/MSP and find out more. The National Institute of Standards and Technology has launched NIST GenAI, program to assess generative AI technologies. The program will release benchmarks, develop deepfake checking systems, and encourage the creation of software to detect the source of AI-generated information. NIST GenAI's first project is a pilot study to differentiate between human-created and AI-generated media, starting with text. The program will invite teams to submit AI systems to generate or identify AI-generated content. The launch of NIST GenAI is part of NIST's response to President Joe Biden's AI transparency rules and will inform the work of NIST's AI Safety Institute. 8 major daily newspapers, including the Chicago Tribune and the New York Daily News, have sued OpenAI and Microsoft for using their news articles to train tools without compensating content owners. The lawsuit raises concerns about the impact of AI tools on the news industry and calls for fair compensation for the use of copyrighted work. AI companies argue that using news articles for training qualifies as fair use, but news publishers disagree and demand a stop to the practice. And while I'm on AI, a report by Getty Images highlights that consumers value authentic content and are wary of AI-generated images. Businesses should use synthetic images tactfully, considering their audience and intent, keeping authenticity as the focus, and understanding the data on which AI tools were trained. Industries with higher trust expectations, such as healthcare and finance, should be especially cautious. AI-generated content may not be suitable for campaigns emphasizing authenticity or featuring real people, but can be used for non-human elements. Now, why do we care? Businesses do need to consider how carefully they integrate AI-generated content into their marketing strategies, particularly where trust is paramount, such as healthcare and finance. The key insight is transparency. I won't dwell on the lawsuits, this is a tactical update, but I will dwell on how establishing rigorous benchmarks for generative AI will help standardize how these technologies are assessed and used, ensuring safer and more reliable applications. By setting benchmarks and developing systems to assess the content, NIST aims to enhance transparency and safety in the use of these technologies. And the opportunity is in applying that in business. The White House issued National Security Memorandum 22 to update the oversight and management of critical infrastructure sectors. The memo empowers the Department of Homeland Security and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency to coordinate efforts to secure critical infrastructure. It also directs the U.S. intelligence community to share intelligence with infrastructure owners and operators. The memo replaces an Obama-era policy and outlines 13 requirements for agencies to meet over the next 18 months. The Federal Communications Commission has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Federal Trade Commission to reclaim some oversight duties over broadband providers. This dissolves the 2017 agreement, under which the FTC took on enforcement duties after the repeal of net neutrality rules. The move restores the FCC's authority to regulate broadband providers and ensure consumer privacy protections. Alabama has expanded its child pornography law to include deepfake images created by artificial intelligence following a cyberbullying incident at a middle school. Governor Kay Ivey signed the Alabama Child Protection Act of 2024, inspired by the incident, to protect children from the potential dangers of AI. Officials in Washington rallied to emphasize the importance of the Affordable Connectivity Program and the repercussions of its imminent end. The program has provided low or no-cost internet to 23 million American households, addressing affordability barriers. Starting today, enrolled households will only receive a partial credit toward their monthly internet costs, leading to potential disconnections. Advocates are pushing for an extension to the program through the ACP Extension Act, which aims to allocate $7 billion. The White House sees the ACP as essential for achieving internet for all by 2030. Members of Congress are urged to support the program's continuation. New laws have been introduced in the UK to protect consumers and businesses from hacking and cyber attacks. Manufacturers of internet-connected smart devices are now required to implement minimum security standards, including banning easily guessable default passwords. Why do we care? The Directive for Intelligence Sharing is particularly important as it allows infrastructure operators to anticipate and mitigate threats before they materialize. A culture of information sharing takes investment, and here we see the government doing their part. Certain laws just make sense, deepfakes of minors, safer default passwords, but they ultimately have to be implemented to occur. And listeners know I'm very pro-broadband. I think it's good business. I prefer to review earnings reports in batches, so let's look at Microsoft, Google, and Amazon. Microsoft reported a 17% revenue growth in the 3 months ending in March, attributed to the momentum from Copilot, its AI-powered chatbot. The growth rate remained flat compared to the previous quarter. Revenue from Activision, which the company acquired in October, contributed to the overall growth. Azure Cloud Computing Service saw a 21% revenue growth, potentially boosted by new AI-powered services. Microsoft's Office unit had consistent growth, while capital expenditures doubled to meet the rising demand for generative AI. The Google parent Alphabet reported a 15% increase in first-quarter revenue, with its cloud business, Google Cloud, accounting for almost 12% of total revenue. The company is focusing on boosting Google Cloud and AI adoption, combining AI model development teams, and emphasizing its leadership in AI research and infrastructure. Alphabet is ramping up AI research and development and pushing Google Cloud commercially. Google Cloud reported a 28% increase in revenue in Q1 2024, attributed to AI. Amazon reported a 13% increase in revenue for the first quarter, driven by growth in Amazon Web Services and advertising services. AWS reported a 17% year-over-year growth in revenue for the first quarter, surpassing Wall Street's expectations. Revenue from AWS reached $25.04 billion, contributing 17% of Amazon's overall revenue. AWS also delivered $9.42 billion in operating income, accounting for 62% of Amazon's total. The company remains a major player in cloud market, outpacing competitors like Google and Microsoft in growth. AWS's operating margin widened to 37.6%, the highest since 2014. AWS is projected to reach $100 billion in revenue in fiscal year 2024 and has improved its margins. The unit's improved margins have increased by 800 basis points. Operating income is attributed to its decision to run servers for 6 years. Why do we care? It's all about cloud and AI. In cloud, it's clearly paying off for the cloud players. The anticipation is that AI will do the same over time. For providers, the obvious answer is to follow their lead. Their partners will clearly benefit from their investments. I also wanted to note AWS's 6-year commitment on servers. I found that notable, as it's clearly a break from long-standing 3-year upgrade cycle thinking. This episode sponsored by Skykick, new sponsor for MSP Radio. Skykick has been helping over 30,000 MSPs for the past 10 years be more successful in the cloud, migrating, protecting, securing, and managing their Microsoft 365 customers. A highlight in their offerings is their Microsoft 365 data protection solution, Cloud Backup. They've recently enhanced it with a new feature called Smart Insights. This feature delivers visual insights, empowering partners to engage more efficiently with customers on Microsoft 365 data protection. And MSP Radio listeners get a special offer. Get a free 2 M365 email migration for a customer when you bundle it with backup. Visit skygeek.com/MSP Radio to learn details. Thanks for listening. Today is National Rotate Your Beer Day. Drink fresh, my friends. On the live show today, I covered Kaseya's big announcement, new benefits research, plus more from SonicWall and SaaS alerts, and a bunch of other stories. Available now on YouTube, and it'll drop in your podcast feed on Saturday. And if you have a question you want answered, I take those questions, send them in at question@mspradio.com. I answer listener questions live each week on the Wednesday live show. Got a comment or a thought on a story? Put it in the comments if you're on YouTube, or reach out on LinkedIn if you're listening to the podcast. Talk to you again tomorrow. The Business of Tech is written and produced by me, Dave Sobel, under ethics guidelines posted at businessof.tech. If you like the content, please make sure to hit that like button, follow, or subscribe. It's free and easy, and the best way to support the show and help us grow. You can also check out our Patreon, where you can join the Business of Tech community at patreon.com/MSP Radio, or buy our Why Do We Care merch at businessof.tech. Finally, if you're interested in advertising on the show, visit mspradio.com/engage. Once again, thanks for listening to me, and I will talk to you again on our next episode of The Business of Tech.
Part of the MSP Radio Network.